to ask the county commissioners to enact what is commonly referred to as a 1590 tax. This ordinance, which amended RCW 82.14.530, allows the county legislative authority to impose a sales and use tax not to exceed 1/10 of 1% of the selling price in the case of a sales tax or value of the article used in case of a use tax. This will allow the county to create more homes for the unsheltered. At least 60% of that money must be used for the construction of housing and related services. The balance must be used for the operation, delivery, or services related to housing. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Susan DeLucci. And Susan, if you could state your name and address or city of residence, and then we'll get you 3 minutes.
Okay, Susan DeLucci, City of Spokane Valley. I'm here today to ask for your help in righting some wrongs that have been created by some extraordinarily complex communication issues. For the past 4 months, neighbors have been researching the Timberlane Terrace development at the edge of the Spokane Valley city limits at both Saltese Road and 24th Avenue. The development is being built on a clay base that was the site of the original clay pits providing bricks to Spokane during the last century. 2 key issues have emerged since the development was proposed 22 years ago. Although circumstances have changed in the past 22 years, permits have been extended without much oversight. There have been 2 earlier floods from the stormwater pond built with the county engineering approval. The pond is inside city limits, but controlled by the developer who is building inside the county. This last winter, the pond walls collapsed and nothing has been done this year to remediate the problem. The neighborhood is in great fear of another flood and are watching water and snow levels. Stormwater holding areas above the pond inside the county have also failed. The second issue is connection to the city street at the top of the 22-degree grade. I have historical knowledge as I served as chairperson of the Boundary Review Board in 1988, when we examined and ruled that only an emergency gated road would be allowed. To my knowledge, this ruling has never been challenged. The county is insisting on a full road, creating mirrored traffic issues be constructed, even though this has not been approved by the city of Spokane Valley, as per the hearing examiner's decision in 2006. There are many cross-jurisdictional problems. The situation created by the county should be solved by the county. However, 2 weeks ago, the county engineer signed off on the final piece of the development, even though it was a requirement of the hearing examiner in 2006 that nothing be finalized until all problems were corrected and agreed to by the city of Spokane Valley. Ordinarily, obviously, this is an extraordinary complex issue. Matt Zarkor and Roger Blagan have agreed to meet with Valley residents on Thursday, January 8th at 10 a.m. at Spokane Valley City Hall to discuss the resolution of these problems. We hope that we can resolve these issues amicably and would appreciate the attendance of any commissioners. Thank you.
Thank you. Laura Eckerman.
Good afternoon, commissioners. I'm Laura Ackerman. I live on the West Plains. John Hancock is going to talk a little bit more, but on behalf of the coalition, but I briefly wanted to mention that I strongly support the local health officer to declare a PFAS public health emergency. I live on the West Plains. I don't have a polluted well for now, but hundreds of people likely do. I mean, the West Plains is private well land in Spokane County, and public health emergency declaration will really help because the wells are so varied in depth, in size, in age, in the needs that people use their wells. And it's really complicated. And I think having a public health declaration in terms of an emergency for PFAS will really help people to be able to get the needs that they need with their with the situation with their well. So, because if you look at the maps, the recent maps, Chad Pritchard has produced one, and it's pretty astounding the level of potential pollution. So because of that potential, I think a public health emergency for PFAS is warranted. Thank you.
Thank you. John Hancock.
I live on North Garfield Road on Deep Creek in the country. I appreciate last week's action to move ahead with the PFAS filtering selection and contract. That's a good step forward to the task force. But there were some important points missing from that action. So I'm suggesting sort of a supplemental that goes along with last week's action. And it's a public health emergency declaration recommendation. First point, encourage the local health officer to declare a PFAS public health emergency. Number two, authorize PFAS health messaging by Spokane County Public Relations. Number three, authorize and direct county staff to seek and apply for additional funding for PFAS testing and remediation. Number four, aid and encourage the local health officer to advance PFAS community awareness and professional education for healthcare providers and systems. And number five, engage immediately and forcefully with other local, state, and federal agencies and municipalities for testing, retesting, analyzing, and remediating PFAS throughout Spokane County. This requires some courage and some foresight and some collaboration to tie into this, what I think is a more complete package of how we move PFAS remediation forward quickly and authoritatively. We've tried to find other examples nationwide of PFAS health declarations. So far, we haven't found any. That means you could be the first. And I think that's a good message to send, that we in Spokane are on the march here towards the best possible solutions in as timely a way as possible. So I appreciate your support for additional actions like this about a public health emergency. I've got more background whereases that go along with this that I'm happy to send. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Linda Klesch.
Linda Klesch, 2215 South Conklin Court, Ridgemont Estates in Spokane Valley, 99007. I'm here. Hello. Is that better? Sorry. I'm short. I'm addressing the road plan at 22% grade at Bear Crest and 24th. Sue just addressed some of the geodynamic soil problems that we have in that area. I've lived up on Ridgemont for 48 years and we have clay and it's a difficult problem. And we've had water pipes and sewer pipes and everything break. So, you guys want a road to come out at 24th and Bear Crest. This was always to be a gated only road because it is a 90-degree angle at a 22% grade going down. There's 400 cars possibly to cross over into our lane that we are coming down around the curve. It snowed yesterday. People were sliding down that hill. This is a dangerous, dangerous place. This exit does not meet approval criteria of the new residential developments to be arranged in a pattern of connecting streets and blocks to allow people to get around easily by foot, bicycle, bus, car. There are children, there are school buses, there are children walking down there for school. It's a dangerous situation. There are 2 other roads already out that they can use to come out to that road. We do not need a 3rd road at the top of a 22% grade. We are having a meeting on January 8th at 10 o'clock at Spokane Valley. And they've told us that the county will be there, the city will be there, and we're going to bring pictures of the road and we're going to bring pictures of the pond. And we would like our representatives to show up.
Thank you. All right, well, that does it for open public forum. So that will bring us to our agenda. Are there any agenda items that anyone would like to take separately?
Yes, Mr. Vice Chair, I would like to pull 5A and deal with that separately.
Okay. We'll take 5A separately, but is there a motion on items 3, 4, and 5 excluding 5A?
Mr. Vice Chair, I would move that we approve items items 3, 4, and 5, excluding 5A as presented on today's agenda.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to approve items 3, 4, and 5, including all sub items with the exception of item 5A. Any comments? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Commissioner CUNY, you lit up like you said something, but we didn't actually hear anything on our end.
Aye.
Can you give us a thumbs up for an aye? Okay, that's an aye. Okay. Motion passes unanimously. Okay, then let's move on to item 5A. Is there a motion?
Mr. Vice Chair, I'm going to move that we approve item 5A as presented, and then I want to speak to the motion because I will vote against the motion, but I have to bring it forward to take an action on it.
Second for purposes of discussion. I
Thank
think.
you. I appreciate your second. So this is the annual dance that we do with Martin Hall. Martin Hall is a juvenile detention facility located out in Medical Lake. And Spokane County is one of 9 counties that formed the consortium to use that facility. And at the time that the consortium was created, it made sense, but it has not for as long as I've been here. The county does not use the facility. And yet because of the parameters around the creation of that consortium, we're spending well over $300,000 a year and getting zero return for that investment. And so we've tried multiple times to pull out of it, but the way that it was structured, it creates a real obstacle to be able to get out of it. And legislatively, it was created for a 50-year period, and we've still got a long ways to go before we hit the end of 50 years. So there is a requirement that every year the budget has to be approved by the 9 counties. And but we have, for as long as I've been here, not approving that county or that budget for the principle of the issue that we're paying way too much money and getting nothing in return. So it's a dance we have to go through every year. And it's unfortunate that our fellow counties in the northeast part of the state will not recognize the injustice of the structure and allow us to pull out of this organization. But this is what it is and stuff. So I will be voting against the measure again for the 15th time. Thank you.
Any other comments? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. All opposed say nay.
Nay.
Nay, and we see a thumbs down from Commissioner CUNY. All right, so the motion fails 0 to 5. All right, that brings us on to our public hearings. Our first public hearing is public hearing item number 6A to consider limited access on Comolini Road from Dartford Drive to the north end of Comolini Road, County Engineer Road File number 2676 for the Spokane County Public Works Department. We have a presentation from County Engineer Matt Zarecor.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is the first of 3 limited access hearings we have this afternoon. Thank you. Can I have the next slide? You can see on the overhead, this is located in North Spokane. It's between Dartford Road and Highway 395. It's the portion shown in red on the center line there of Comolini Road. We've had a petition from the adjacent landowner. He owns all the property adjacent to Comolini, and he's requested a limited access so we can gate this. There's no current or future public benefit that we're seeing, and we do not oppose the limited access status for this roadway. And I'm happy to answer any questions regarding it.
Any questions for Matt? Nope. Okay, this is a public hearing, so anybody wishing to testify, please get ready. We do have one individual who signed up ahead of time. Damiano Saghetti. Right, you come on up and state your name and address for the record in 3 minutes.
Thank you. Live in the city of Spokane. Here today, just to support the petition to limited access of Comolini Road. As my family, I've lived there with my parents growing up on Comolini at 5 East Comolini Road, and have since bought a portion of the parcel there at 11 East Comolini Road under the Comolini Road LLC. My dad also has ownership of the Sketty Family Limited Partnership, which owns the other portion. So collectively, we make up all the landowners surrounding this. There's been a fair bit of undesirable activity, particularly on the site, between people driving up to the cul-de-sac and lighting off fireworks, or having bonfires, dumping yard waste, concrete, furniture, etc. Most recently, here in November of 2024, there was a fire on 11 East Comolini Road that burned a portion of the structure that's there. That property in itself attracts a certain type of attention just due to the nature of the amount of junk that's currently on. And we're in the process of slowly removing that away and hoping to clear that land. So again, the added gate would kind of limit that type of activity here on this property for myself and my family. So any questions? Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else wishing to testify on this item, please come forward. If you're joining us on Zoom, please use the raise hand function. Second call, third and final call for anybody wishing to testify. Seeing no one else wishing to testify, we'll close the public hearing, and I will look to my fellow commissioners for a motion.
Mr. Vice Chair, I move that we accept the recommendation from staff considering limited access on Comolini Road from Dartford Road Drive to the north end of Comolini Road, County Engineers Road File number 2676 for the Spokane County Public Works Department.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That is a unanimous 5-0 passage. Okay, that will move us on to public hearing item number 6B. Consider limited access to a portion of Gray Road from the north end of Gray Road to a point approximately 1,380 feet south. County Engineers Road File number 2555 for the Spokane County Public Works Department. And we'll have another presentation from Matt.
Next slide, please. Thank you again, Commissioner. You can see our second vacation or limited access proposal is in the northwest portion of the county. And you can see on the aerial on the right, this is directly adjacent to the Spokane River on the north end of that aerial. And there's currently state property that's from that green box. It's that parcel north and west of the green box there. That's the day use site for the state land. And we're proposing to apply the limited access beyond that. We do want to keep public access to that day use parking lot. The ownership, you can see the parcels outlined in blue on the east side of the roadway there have requested this. I think similar to the last petitioner, there's been quite a bit of inappropriate activity and access across private property that they're hoping to curtail by the limited access and putting in a gate. So again, it is our recommendation to the board that we support their petition for limited access, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Matt? Nope. Okay. Well, this is also a public hearing item, so anybody wishing to testify on item number 6B, please come forward. you're joining us on Zoom, please use the raise hand function. Second call. Third and final call for anybody wishing to testify on public hearing item number 6B. Seeing no one wishing to testify, we'll close the public hearing and I will look to my fellow commissioners for a motion.
Mr. Vice Chair, I would move that we accept the recommendation of staff in the consideration of the designating limited access to a portion of Gray Road from the north end of Gray Road to a point approximately 1,380 feet south. County Engineer Road File number 2555 for the Spokane County Public Works Department.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Okay, that brings us to public hearing item number 6C. Consider limited access to a portion of unnamed right-of-way in the Platte Marini Estates, County Engineer Road File number 2444 for the Spokane County Public Works Department. I'll turn it back over to Matt.
Thank you again, Commissioner. Third and final limited access hearing today. You can see on the overhead here, this is kind of at the north end of Cheney, and it's on the, you can barely see it on the vicinity map, but that's Highway 904 crossing at the bottom left of the aerial there. And we've had a petition by you can see the blue outlined property there to create this limited access. This is currently an unopened, unestablished, unmaintained right of way. The gentleman directly north of the red line there has a driveway that kind of moves through a portion of the right of way, but it's not a public access at this point. And he's been getting some traffic from the west, basically people moving back and forth, just a bit of a shortcut. And his desire is just to close that off to the public, since a lot of it does transverse his property. They actually can't get back and forth without trespassing. So again, this is not anything we're currently looking at for public access. There's no current or intended future public access for this roadway. And we would again support a limited access on this portion of that right away. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Matt? No. Okay, this is a public hearing. We do have one individual who signed up ahead of time, Larry Wilcox. Okay. Understood. Okay, is there anyone else wishing to testify? Second call. If you're joining us on Zoom, please use the raise hand function. Third and final call for anybody wishing to testify on public hearing item number 6C. Seeing no one else wishing to testify, we'll close the public hearing and I will look to my fellow commissioners for a motion.
Mr. Vice Chair, I move that we accept the recommendation from staff and the consideration of designating limited access to a portion of unnamed right-of-way in the Platte Marini Estates, County Engineers Road File number 2444 for the Spokane County Public Works Department.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. That moves us to public hearing item number 6D. This is in the matter of amending chapters 11.16 and 11.17 of the Spokane County Code for the Aquifer Protection Area for Spokane County Public Works Department. And we have Ben Bradabo for a presentation.
Yeah, thank you very much, Commissioners. Here this afternoon to request a amendment to Spokane County Code. The recent renewal of the Spokane Valley Rathdrum Prairie Aquifer Protection Area passed by voter approval in August of this year. And county code is specific to how the fees are collected and has dates in it. And so we're looking to update that period so that the Aquifer Protection Area fee can be collected for another 20-year period. This will be the third 20-year period, so extending the fee for up to 60 years, 20 more, total of 60. It's administrative in nature, just changing this to make sure our code will allow us to continue to collect these fees in the areas where the Aquifer Protection Area was approved. No changes to the fee structure. And then this public hearing is as part of that code update. And available for any questions.
Any questions for Ben? Commissioner French?
I have a related question. It's not specifically to this topic, but would you speak a little bit? I know that you've been engaged with stakeholders on the West Plains about establishing an APA on the West Plains. Do you want to give the board a little bit of an update about where you're at on that process?
Sure, no problem. It is a separate area. So this aquifer protection area we're talking about for this code changes for the Spokane Valley Rathdrum Prairie Aquifer. The discussions with the West Plains Aquifer Protection Area has been with the other, the three municipalities out there, Airway Heights, Medical Lake, and Cheney, could be part of an aquifer protection area if it were put to the vote and then approved by voters. And then Spokane, portions of unincorporated Spokane County. So went with Kyle Tuig with Public Works, and he presented to the city of Medical Lake about a month ago about that, and their city council was agreeable and interested in continuing discussions. We have a meeting scheduled to present to the city of Airway Heights next week to talk to them about whether or not this is an aquifer protection area specifically for the West Plains would be of interest. We've talked previously and they were agreeable, but this will be to the whole city council, so we'll have that opportunity. We don't have an appointment scheduled for city of Cheney, but we have reached out and we'll reach out again to see if they're interested. We've talked in generalities of a fee that would be similar to this one that's on the Spokane Valley Rathdrum Prairie Aquifer, about $15 per house for a home that's connected to water and then a city sewer system. But beyond that, we haven't gotten any more details. We're looking at where that might be applied and how much money it might collect, but haven't gotten any details of how much would be put to a vote. We've been talking about a vote in potentially going to voters in August of 2026, which would then require getting onto the ballot around May 1st of 2026 with some public hearings and that sort of thing as we just went through with the Spokane Valley APA. So that's where we are right now.
Well, and I know that you and Kyle, but specifically you have been working on this and stuff. And I just want to say I appreciate the continued work on this. And I know that there's a lot of interest on the West Plains to be in a position of where they could vote on this and get it established and stuff. And I just wanted to give you an opportunity to give us an update. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. This is a public hearing. We do have one individual who has signed up ahead of time, Julia McHugh.
Good afternoon, Julia McHugh, living on a contaminated well, Palisades neighborhood, West Plains. Thank you, Mr. Bradabo. Your comments and your efforts are greatly appreciated. Since we were excluded from the August APA vote, wherein 72% of the voters said, yes, we want to protect that aquifer, and the city and the county, you folks in this city council, included the airport on the West Plains, but excluded the rest of the West Plains, despite the fact that the contamination in my and many hundreds of other wells is coming from the airport. Why you're protecting this asset, the city county owned asset, in lieu of your constituents is a mystery, and it is very disconcerting. So good news that this West Plains aquifer ballot issue is coming up that reflects that the voter understanding of the need to protect aquifer is strong. If you converted 72%, that would be 3.5 commissioners. So the commission is not representing the voters. Think on that a little while, but you're not just protecting groundwater, you're protecting the Spokane River. The groundwater off the West Plains enters the Spokane River. The next step is this aquifer protection area ballot issue for the West Plains to maximize constituent protection and also to maximize filtration costs through the declaration of a public health emergency, which I've advocated for since 2024, almost 2 full years. But the idea to maximize the funds is to fund more filtration systems, not bypass the competitive bid process, which is about to happen if This is not set to a competitive bid for filtration costs. This 7.5 or $6 million, whatever the number is, should be put out to a competitive bid. Otherwise, it is a willful misuse of public funds. The more money you can save through competition, that means you fund more filtration systems. So I ask you to stop prioritizing. Where's the timer, please? Prioritizing the asset of the the airport represents to you all and to the city, and prioritize your constituents. And finally, Mr. French has been asked numerous times as an airport board member, as an S3R3 solutions chair, and as our representative on the West Plains, to get with the airport and remind them of their March 29th, 2024 letter from the FAA, which basically said, airport, you need to take care of your own environmental issues. Stop hedging around and muffing around and saying, we don't know, it's unclear. It's extremely clear. The airport
Ms.
is.
McHugh, are you speaking to public hearing item number 16?
Yes, I am, because this has.
Is
to
this
do-
in chapter 1116 and 1117?
Mr. Kearns,
Julie, please,
this is
please
of
to the public hearing
health,
item.
safety and welfare issues.
You should have brought this up during open public forum.
Thank you for your lesson.
Thank you.
The airport is responsible for funding the filtration for the contamination that they have introduced on the West Plains, which is not just PFAS, but numerous other contaminants. Mr. French, I'll ask you directly on the public record, and if I may have your attention, I would like to ask you to please directly in public ask the airport board to step up to their responsibilities. You have avoided this at the last airport board meeting, which I attended. No word, absolutely no word. For 60 days, you've told the public, the PFAS task force of the West Plains, that you're going to go to the airport board and ask them about contributing to the filtration systems. We're asking you to do your duty, your very first duty to your constituents. Please. Do you have any questions or comments besides Mr. Kearns' cautions? I'd be happy to answer any questions. I have a minute left. The Aquifer Protection Area for Spokane County Public Works. We have advocated for this for a long, long time. In fact, I think I was the first citizen to bring this to your attention, that the ordinance was expiring at the end of 2025, actually in another 25 days or so. So it's very much appreciated that you followed through on that, but it is a total mystery why you excluded the West Plains, which is clearly suffering from serious contamination problems and serious health problems, if you want to admit to it. I have 4 neighbors who've died of pancreatic cancer at 2 separate addresses within 10 months of each other. The one outfit, one home, tested their water before the lab was even finished testing. They said, stop. The lab called and said, stop drinking your water. This is a major, major public issue. And I'm glad finally that regional health has gotten involved. It's about time. And since this is my 20th appearance before you all for this various matter, look forward to seeing me for 20 more times. I know I bring great joy to you. Think of us while you're sipping this Christmas, while you're sipping on your cocktails. Think of us drinking what we're drinking. It's pretty dismal. Thank you.
Thank you. Ben, can I ask a question? So I know we don't have the map up there, but what portions, so can you run through the jurisdictions that are in the APA again?
Again, so
I know that there are portions and precincts of unincorporated county, but can you speak to the other cities that are a part of it?
so it's City of Spokane, the full boundary of the City of Spokane, City of Spokane Valley, Millwood, and City of Liberty Lake.
Okay, so it's the entirety of each of those cities?
Correct.
So that would, and so I'm going to ask a question to Commissioner French, who sits on the airport board. Where is the airport located? What jurisdiction is it actually located in?
Located inside the city of Spokane.
Okay, so that would explain why the airport is within the boundaries of the APA, because it is the entirety of the city of Spokane is in the APA.
Correct. So when we went to
Okay.
the city of Spokane and asked about their interest in participating in the renewal of this aquifer protection area, they included their entire city of Spokane boundary, which does include the city, includes the airport.
Okay, thank you very much. All right. So is there a motion on, if there are no other questions or comments, is there a motion on public hearing item number 6D?
Mr. Vice Chair, I would move that we accept the recommendation for staff and the matter of amending chapters 11.16 and 11.17 of the Spokane County Code for the aquifer protection area for Spokane County Public Works Department.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. All right, that does it for our printed agenda. I will look down to Mr. Folsom. Is there anything else for us today?
No miscellaneous items, but one executive session item pending and potential litigation. No action is anticipated at the end. Approximately 20 minutes. I'd like the board, Matt Folsom, Scott Simmons, Jeff McMorris, and Devin Kurta to be present. Again, no action, 20 minutes.
Okay, it is 2:42 right now. We'll begin the executive session at 2:45. Give folks a few minutes to clear the room, and we'll sign some documents. And at the conclusion of that executive session, we will be adjourned for the day. Thank you.